Well, hello everyone. My name is Mitchell Mander, and today I want to do something a little different. Today I'm going to be talking about the most recent arc that happened in the Boruto Naruto Next Generation series. The Mirai arc / Konaha Shinden Ninja Stream Scrolls arc. Now this arc recently came to an end this last week, and I'm not here to review it as there's been a bunch of reviews already, but there's something I want to talk about with this arc. This arc, in my opinion, I feel has been very misunderstood by the general public and by a lot of fans in general. Now, what I mean is that a lot of people on social media, be it Facebook, be it YouTube, be it Twitter, and even on Crunchyroll, just a lot of people have been complaining about this arc, calling it a completely pointless filler arc, calling it bad, talking about how it's just boring, how it's not part of the story, and how it's just a bad arc in general. And I've just been seeing complaints about this every single week. Every episode that released, there's been a slew of complaints on every single social media page. Now, look, if you don't like this arc, that's fine. It's not for you, as it's more so a slice of life until the very end. And I'm not going to judge anybody based on those reasons. It's just not something that you like, and that's okay. Personally, I like this arc for a variety of reasons that I will get into later in the video. But I'm not going to judge anyone. If you don't like it, feel free to talk about it in the comment section below and tell me what you didn't like about this arc and why you didn't like it. If you felt it was pointless, give me some general feedback. I'd appreciate it. Just want to see what some people say. Now, before you spam the dislike button on this video, I'd like you guys to hear me out. I know that Boruto is not the perfect series out there. It's definitely not as good as Naruto or Shippuden. But it's had its good moments. It's had a lot of high moments in the series that I've really enjoyed, but it's also had some low moments in the series that I've hated. And there have been episodes that I've left out and I've skipped. But at the same time, there's been issues that this anime has had ever since part 1 of Naruto. So it's not a problem that Boruto has specifically had. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But anyways, let's move on to the main topic. Now, the reason why I call it misunderstood, this arc misunderstood, is because a lot of people seem to be calling this a pointless filler arc, just completely filler. Some people are wondering what the writers are thinking coming up with this arc. Now, I just want to set the record straight. For those that don't know, this arc is based on Konaha Shinden. It is a light novel that was released in 2016. And it's based on Mirai, Sarutobi, Kakashi, and Guy going out on an S-rank mission that seems to be a little vacation for Kakashi and Guy. But then it turns out that it actually wasn't. It was actually a secret mission in order to look into the Jashin cult that was alluded to in Naruto Shippuden. So, in a way, this story is related to the Naruto universe, but it's not directly involved with the main plot of the manga that's going on in Boruto. So, it's not exactly part of the meat of the story. So, what I would consider this arc to be is canon filler. Whereas it's filling in time while the anime gets ready, the manga gets ahead, The manga gets ahead of the anime enough so that the anime can finally start adapting the manga. But in this case, they're adapting light novels, which they've done in the past. They did it in Shippuden. They did it with Shikamaru, for example, and Itachi. And the only problem that I had with those was that for some reason, Studio Period skipped some of the light novels, especially some of the better ones, like the Kakashi and Sakura light novels, which I'm actually still pretty upset about. I really think they should have adapted those. But that's neither here nor there. So I would consider this arc to be canon filler. It's kind of like the Naruto Shinden stuff that we had earlier this year with the parent-child festival, those episodes. It's kind of the same thing where it's kind of fillerish, but at the same time it's based off a novel, so it's canon at the same time. So, just to set the record straight to people calling this completely filler. So, it's based off a light novel, so it's technically canon, but I'd just go by the term canon filler. But this arc serves two purposes. There's two main purposes. The first is that it helps connect the Naruto series to the Boruto series. In that this arc actually in the novels takes place around the time of Chapter 700 and Naruto Gaiden, which was the Sardar Uchiha arc in the anime. And it even references the Chapter 700 Mirai from Chapter 700, which is actually pretty cool. So that was actually the mission that Mirai was going on. So that's pretty cool. So there is a connection there. So it technically is canon. But the other main purpose that this arc has is to develop and shed light on Mirai's character at this point in the story. As in Shippuden, she was only 2 years old when we saw her, and this is her, older, about 15 years old. So this is the other purpose for this arc. Now, if there's one criticism I do have is the placement of the arc in the anime. Personally, I think this should have been done a lot sooner, and I think people wouldn't have been so angry about it, personally. Because this arc takes place around the time of Gaiden, so this should have taken place either right after it or right early on before the Chunin exams. Just in my opinion. That's just one criticism I have for it. Now, let me just say that when this arc was announced, I was actually pretty excited because I actually didn't think this arc was going to be adapted because I figured it would be like the light novels that were skipped in Shippuden. So I was actually pretty pleased that we got this. And in my opinion, they did a pretty good job adapting the arc. There were some deviations. For example, Tatsumi was introduced way sooner in the anime adaptation than in the light novel, which I think was for the better. So that was one thing that I liked. So overall, I thought this was a very enjoyable arc. It was very slice of lifey. But if there's one thing that I think this arc did that a lot of people probably didn't catch is that I feel like what they were doing with this in the novel was that it was subverting your expectations. It was making you think it was slice of life and it was just nothing really going on, and they were kind of just wasting their time just going to hot springs, hanging out with the various characters that they run into, or go to the dog cat festival with Kiba, and then go to the hotel with Tenten, mess around there. And then the one village with the boulder with Choji, it seems like, they were just, wasting time with this. And it was just simply just to just enjoy some hot springs. But no, it was actually deeper than that because Kiba, Tenten, and Choji were actually acting as tourists to gather intel to give the Kakashi and Guy, and probably subsequently Naruto, that there was this stuff going on. They were looking in the Joshin, and they found some hints and cues, so they sent them on this mission to, do some investigating. And lo and behold, they found it. So in a way, it was actually a pretty good thing. Another thing, too, that I like is that a lot of the characters like Kiba, Tenten, and Choji, characters that are really not really relevant characters anymore, especially to the plot of Boruto, specifically. It's nice to see how they've changed since then. I actually really liked how they treated Tenten out of all of them. Because, it shows that Might Guy and Rock Lee have rubbed off on her. So I thought that episode was very enjoyable. But to me, the biggest strength for this arc was the development of Mirai's character. It was her desire to meet her father that, was driving her character a lot in this arc, which honestly led her to defeat the Joshin worshiper Ryuki. It was basically, in a way kind of like Asuma versus Hidan Part 2, but this time she was able to overcome the person. The only problem is that Ryuki was definitely not as strong as Hidan. So, but that being said, this arc also showed off her skills that she's inherited from her parents. Throughout the course of this arc, she has the genjutsu skills of her mother, whereas having the fighting skills of her father with the fire style, for example. I also like the focus that this arc had on Asuma, for example. It was to the point where I actually went back and watched some Shippuden episodes where he fought against Hidan and just kind of the impact he's had on the series. Because a lot of people don't realize, a lot of people think that Asuma kind of wasn't really that relevant of a character, but in a way he did have a lot of good things. For example, helped Naruto develop the Rasen Shuriken, and his death ultimately led to Shikamaru defeating Hidan. It gave him the motivation to do that, but that's neither here nor there. But another thing that this arc, in my opinion, does is that it sheds light, like I said earlier, it sheds light on Mirai. She's a character that honestly hasn't had a whole lot of screen time during Boruto, both in the anime and the manga. She's barely in the manga for She's barely in the manga. But anyways, the fact of the matter is she's just not really in the series that much. And in my opinion, that's kind of a waste of a character, especially a character that was born towards the end of Shippuden. And I really don't want Mirai to become a forgotten character in the show. So in a way, I commend the anime for giving us this arc. And in my honest opinion, it's one of the better arcs in the series. It's not the best, that's for sure, but it's up there. It's probably like maybe like the third or fourth best arc in the series, I'd say. Personal opinion here. So yeah, I mean, I know that there's probably going to be some focus down the line. I know this is some spoilers for the anime only people, but I know that when Kara invades Konaha and when that happens, I'm pretty sure that Mirai will have some plot, something going on with the plot with her. Hopefully she doesn't die. I'd hope not, at least, but I believe that she'll have something to do in the plot coming up in the upcoming Boruto chapters, hopefully. Another thing, too, is Kakashi and Guy are just as enjoyable as ever. They're some of my favorite characters in Boruto, so seeing them here definitely added to the arc, regardless. And I also like that moment at the end of the arc where Kakashi remarked that if he could take a guy to a hot spring to heal his leg, he would. And that's, really touching, and I really like that. It's just the little things that I like about this arc. Now, it really does disappoint me to see people ripping in this arc to shreds, just calling it a pointless filler arc. And like I said, if you don't like it, it's fine. It's not for everyone. And of course, there's a few issues that this arc has had. It has had some pacing issues earlier on. But I wouldn't call it a pointless filler arc, since it's based off of the Konaha Shinden novel. Now, one complaint that I kind of wanted to address here really quickly is that I've seen a lot of people also complain and say that Naruto fillers are better than this arc. I've seen, not a whole lot, but I've seen a couple of people say that Naruto's fillers are better than this arc as a whole. So, in the comments, if you're someone that thinks that Naruto fillers are better than this arc, feel free to express your opinion in the comments below. Could you let me know which Naruto fillers you think are better than this? I'd like to know. Because, in my opinion, the majority of Naruto fillers are nowhere near as good as this arc. Because a lot of them were pretty pointless, especially in Shippuden. Let's not forget the ninja ostrich in Shippuden. So, yeah, in the comments section below, let me know if you think that Naruto fillers are better than the Mirai arc. But I will say one criticism I do have with this arc is that Kiba, Tenten, and Choji were acting as tourists to give intel to Kakashi and Guy. I really think it was a missed opportunity that the anime didn't show maybe a little flashback scene where it shows them giving intel to Kakashi and Guy and maybe Naruto. Why didn't they do that? That was a missed opportunity in my opinion. So anyways, that's really all I have for this video. If you see somebody calling this arc a pointless filler arc, if you see someone on social media calling this pointless, feel free to link this video. You don't have to, but if you think it might change somebody's mind or just want them to kind of get to know what this arc's all about or what it came from, you can do that. I'm still a pretty small YouTuber. I barely have I only have one subscriber as of this video, so if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe. Not sure if I'll do too many more Boruto videos, but this is something that I feel like I had to get off my chest because there's just been a lot of people that are misunderstanding this arc and just kind of complaining. But like I said, if you don't like it, that's totally fine. So anyways, leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section below, and let me know if you want me to cover anything else in Boruto. Just leave a suggestion in the comments and I'll think about it. So anyways, this is Mitchell Mander signing off. You guys have a great day, great week, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.